Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Daube, and I'm leading our climate entrepreneurship and innovation work in Latin America and the Caribbean. And I think this program is multifaceted. So I think I want to talk first about the different challenges and problems we see in the region, and then talk more about our goals and what are we looking for afterwards. So if we look at Latin America and the Caribbean, I think we are aware that they're facing diverse climate consequences and climate change consequences. I think we see that there are more drafts in different regions, let's say in the south and the east of South America. We see more rain coming up in the northwest, for example, right? I think the coastal areas in the Caribbean are under danger. We do see hurricanes moving, and so I think on many different levels we see more challenges coming up. And what we realize is that there's not a lot of local climate innovation work happening. Over the past years, we have seen more and more ideators, entrepreneurs, people who want to move into this space. Also, organizations who want to help these entrepreneurs, who want to help startups, are moving into this space. First investors are also moving into this space, but it's still too few and too little. So that's why for many, many years now in the region, we have been trying to really build out climate entrepreneurship, climate innovation work, so that we engage citizens, that we engage ideators and entrepreneurs to create new climate technologies to save emissions, to avoid, I think, coming up emissions in the construction, energy sector, and different industries which are growing in the region and can still innovate and can still change a lot. But we're also starting to look at different adaptation resilience solutions, right? Where we want to make cities, agriculture, coastal areas more resilient to climate change. And I think that's where really the big benefits come in, right? We want to also help vulnerable communities to be more protected from climate change. Cities, different industries, different economies can benefit really from new climate innovations, new technologies coming in. All levels of society can have big benefits. Also, women are a lot more affected than men in the region. So I think that's important also to address more the gender gap hereby and really also be more inclusive when it comes to different vulnerable communities. The idea is really throughout our diverse projects in the region that we can foster climate entrepreneurship on multiple levels. On the one hand side, we're really working with the society, with citizens to come in, work with cities on new ideas, to brainstorm new ideas through climate funds, for example, right? And there are many climate funds happening around the region every year. We try to help these organizations create some kind of climate incubation programs so that they can really help these ideators create a product, a business model, and launch to market. And also, we have been designing a lot of different climate-focused accelerators where existing climate tech solutions on the ground can really grow and find pathways to scale. And so I think it's really about helping these climate innovators, helping these climate entrepreneurs to take their first steps, but also to find pathways to grow. We need to help them to get clearer on their climate impact. So let's say circular economy solutions, right? To try to treat electronic waste in different parts of Colombia. They need to be clear on how they can kind of solve the whole value chain, but what kind of impact are they generating in terms of materials saved, materials reused, for example, or if we look at transport solutions, for example, in the region, let's say in Mexico, right? How can these transport solutions really avoid traditional modes of transport and hence save greenhouse gas emissions? If we look at coastal protection, right? Many people are talking about mangroves, but what about blue economy and really fostering also local entrepreneurship in these areas? I think that's important, which again have very different benefits and impacts. So we need to really foster on them, work with them, and then we also need to work on the level of organizations who can support these local innovators. So let's say over the past, I think 7 years, we have supported to create and grow more than 300 climate innovations across Latin America and the Caribbean. And we have around 40 organizations right now we're working with, and we're helping to build out such programs so that they can hopefully support more climate innovations in the future. We're still, of course, understanding the impact of all of these solutions a lot better, but we have very ambitious, emission avoidance goals, I would say. And we need to also improve the gender for example, mainstreaming, right? We see that more and more entrepreneurs are still male, but we can achieve right now in some of our acceleration or incubation programs that we get to a 40% female participation, for example, and so on. And I think if you look at the climathons, I think there have been more than 60 climathons now in the region with local cities. So again, this is just very little of what we're doing, but we have to grow a lot more in the future. And if we think about whom are we working with, of course, on the one hand side, we have the different funders. So we're working with IDB Lab, the Inter-American Development Bank. We're working with GIZ, the German development agency. And both of them have funding from different climate funds so that we can really enable organizations and local innovations on the ground. If we look at what organizations are we working with, I think we have more than 40 organizations, sorry, of which Clean Tech Hub Colombia, for example, has been a key one for many, many years. We're working with different impact hubs to run climathons, for example. We're working with organizations like Alterna, CTEC, Quintessa in Brazil, Pomona and Alterna in Central America. We're working with New Ventures in Mexico, EA and Impacta in Colombia, and even Fundación Chile in Chile. We're working with all of them to build out climate-focused accelerators so that more climate innovations can really grow. And I think we still need to do more in the region. We're just at the start. We need to be able to really also help investors in the region to find the right pipeline of climate innovations. We need to create new climate innovations. We need to help them grow in very different countries. We have only worked in 16 countries so far, but there's more countries we need to work in, and we need to deep dive onto each of these countries. So we can deep dive into the mitigation areas, we can deep dive into adaptation and resilience, we can deep dive into circular economy, blue economy, and so on. We need to get closer also to work with the cities and the corporates. These innovations we're helping to create can work closer with corporates, can work closer with the cities to help them in their transformation to become net zero. We need to explore this more. Our organizations need to explore this a lot more. So as you see, we have been doing a bit, but I think there's a lot more roadmap and opportunities in front of us. So I think I would say also that what are the potential next steps? We're launching a diverse set of programs, climate accelerators, pre-accelerators on the Catalyst, and different climate accelerators together with IDB Lab over the next month. So stay tuned. We will work to build out more entrepreneurship support organizations in the region, and a lot of climathons will come up also at the end of each year. And then I think we're looking at growing into countries like Brazil, for example. So what are we looking for right now? We're looking for organizations, corporates, cities, public sector who want to work closely with our organizations so that together you can foster new climate innovations. We're looking for climate innovations who want and need help from us and our partners to grow. We're looking for mentors, experts who want to help local climate innovations in the region. And of course, we're also looking for investors who are curious to bring risky capital to these climate innovations to help them really take the next step and grow. I think we're looking for diverse partners here. But again, this is open to explore with all of you. There are many opportunities to work with you in the region. And I think you can always reach out to me, for example, Christian Daube, and we can have a closer conversation at any time. I'm not the only one. We have a whole team with us. There are almost 10 people working on our projects in the region. So it is Fabio Diaz, for example, Casia Moraes, Maria Agrelo, and more. But I think you can always reach out to me. We're looking forward to connect with you. Thanks a lot and talk to you soon.